Love is not always about forever. Sometimes it is about learning, growing, and letting go. It teaches more in endings than in beginnings. Not every heart that beats for you stays in your life. People come to teach, not always to stay. Understanding this is the first step to emotional strength. Some relationships end, not because of failure, but because timing was wrong. Love does not guarantee permanence. It guarantees lessons that shape the soul. Sarah walked through life quietly, always believing in love. She trusted hearts easily and gave fully without holding back. Every smile she shared carried a piece of her soul. Then she met Ion, the boy who seemed to understand her completely. He laughed at her jokes, shared her dreams, and made her feel alive. For the first time, she thought love was forever. They spent months together, creating memories and small rituals. Every morning coffee, every evening walk felt like magic. Sarah believed their story would never have an ending. But life has a way of testing hearts in ways they never expect. Ion became distant slowly, without reason, without warning. Sarah felt the change, the subtle coldness creeping into their bond. She tried talking, trying to understand, trying to hold on. Every effort seemed futile, as if the love they shared was slipping away. Her heart ached with confusion and pain. Friends advised her to let go, to accept that not all stories last. But Sarah could not imagine life without him beside her. She clung to memories, believing love alone would save them. One rainy evening, Ion finally spoke the truth. His heart had changed, his path was different, and he could not stay. Sarah listened to speak. It was the hardest lesson she had ever learned. Love was not about possession, but about understanding and release. Some hearts are meant to touch ours, not remain with us forever. Sarah felt emptiness, a hollow space where love once lived. But slowly, she began to see the gift hidden in the pain. Every laugh, every moment, every shared dream had taught her something valuable. She realized that not every love story ends together. Some people come to shape you, not stay beside you. Her heart was stronger, wiser, and more compassionate than before. Life continued, and so did Sarah's journey. She embraced self-love and pursued her passions with renewed energy. Her tears transformed into strength, and her sorrow into wisdom. Ion's memory remained, but it no longer hurt. It became a reminder of growth, resilience, and the power of letting go. Sarah understood that endings are also beginnings in disguise. Slowly, she smiled again, knowing she could love without fear. She could give fully, yet remain whole within herself. Some love stories are meant to teach, not last forever. The hardest lesson became her greatest gift. She learned that closure is not in holding, but in understanding. The heart that breaks also learns how to heal. Sarah's journey of love was not about loss, but transformation. Every ending opened a door to her own inner strength. She finally understood. Love is not always forever, but its impact is eternal. Sarah started focusing on herself after the heartbreak. She took long walks alone and reflected on her feelings. Every day, she discovered a little more strength within her. She picked up old hobbies she had abandoned. Painting, writing, and music became her companions. Through creativity, she found a way to express what words could not. Friends noticed a change in her. She laughed more genuinely and spoke more confidently. They could feel the inner growth she carried silently. Sometimes she thought about Ion. Memories came uninvited but no longer broke her spirit. She realized that love could stay in the heart, without controlling the present. Her mornings became a ritual of self-reflection. She journaled every thought and set daily intentions. Each small step was a victory over the past pain. Sarah started helping others quietly. Friends who faced heartbreak came to her for guidance. She understood the power of empathy and experience. Not every attempt to love again would succeed, but she learned to approach new relationships with wisdom and calm. Emotional intelligence became her new armor. She stopped expecting people to understand her fully. Instead, she understood herself completely. Her peace no longer depended on someone else. Sarah traveled to places she had always dreamed of. Each journey brought new perspectives and independence. The world felt bigger and more exciting than before. Sometimes she saw couples laughing together. Instead of jealousy, she felt gratitude for the lessons she had learned. Love had taught her resilience more than happiness. Her career started flourishing quietly. She focused on her skills and worked diligently. Success began to arrive, not with noise, but with steady progress. Sarah met people who appreciated her for who she truly was. Not for her past or her heartbreak, but for her strength and authenticity. She realized real connections require patience. She remembered the pain of letting go, but she no longer feared it. She knew some things in life must end to make space for growth. Slowly, Sarah felt a sense of completion within herself. Not every chapter was meant to be eternal. Some were meant to teach lessons that last a lifetime. She understood that love and loss are intertwined. One cannot exist without the other, and wisdom is born from the balance between them. Even Ion's memory became gentle over time. It no longer carried regret or bitterness. Instead, it reminded her of how far she had come. Sarah realized she could love again without fear. Not clinging, but freely. Not desperate, but mindful. Her heart became a safe space for others, but first for herself. Self-respect and boundaries became her new rules. Love without self-worth was no longer acceptable. The quiet strength she built reflected in her friendships. People were drawn to her calm energy. She became a beacon for those who needed hope. Sarah's journey taught her patience. The world does not always align with desires immediately. Time was a teacher, showing that growth precedes reward. She started mentoring younger students at school. Sharing her story inspired them to handle their own heartbreaks. Her pain turned into purpose. She discovered new passions that Ion had never known about. Traveling, volunteering, and public speaking became new joys. Her life expanded beyond a single relationship. Even her family noticed the change. They saw a confident, independent, and compassionate young woman. Sarah was no longer defined by love lost, but by strength gained. Each night, she reflected quietly. She thanked herself for enduring the pain. She praised her own courage for moving forward. Sarah understood finally that love does not always mean togetherness. True love often means learning, letting go, and growing. Life's lessons are sometimes wrapped in endings. She learned to celebrate small victories daily. Waking up without fear, completing tasks, enjoying moments all counted. Happiness was found in personal growth, not dependency. Her social circle expanded. She built friendships based on respect, trust, and authenticity. Superficial connections no longer mattered. She embraced solitude without feeling lonely. Silence became her ally. She discovered that being alone is not emptiness, but clarity. Over time, Sarah's confidence radiated naturally. People admired her resilience without knowing the depth of her struggle. Respect became her silent companion. Sarah forgave Ion silently, not because he deserved it, but because she needed peace. Forgiveness was a gift to herself, not him. Her dreams became bigger, no longer limited by fear of loss or heartbreak. She pursued them relentlessly. She understood that endings are not failures. They are redirections. Life always nudges toward growth. Sarah smiled more freely now. Happiness was no longer tied to another person. Her joy was self-created. She learned to set boundaries in relationships, to protect herself and honor her value. Love without respect was no longer acceptable. Even when new love appeared, she approached it differently, with patience, wisdom, and self-awareness. She knew some stories are meant to teach, not last forever. Her past became a story of strength. Every tear, every sleepless night, every heartbreak contributed to her transformation. She realized people enter your life for reasons. Some to stay, some to teach, some to leave. Each has a purpose in shaping who you become. Sarah's journey was not linear. There were setbacks and moments of doubt, but perseverance kept her moving forward. She understood the art of letting go gracefully. Holding on too tightly only prolongs pain. Freedom comes when you release what is not meant to stay. Her heart became soft but resilient, vulnerable but protected, ready to love wisely. Through all of this, she discovered a profound truth. Happiness and self-worth are cultivated internally. External validation is fleeting. Sarah finally embraced life fully, with memories, lessons, and hope. She understood that endings are beginnings in disguise. Her story became a quiet inspiration, showing that not every love story ends together, but every love story leaves you stronger. Sarah would head held high. Her past shaped her, but did not define her. Her future was hers to create. The lessons of love and loss echoed in her soul. She knew strength is born in heartbreak, wisdom is born in endings. Peace is born in acceptance. Some love stories are meant to stay in memory. Some love stories are meant to leave. And some love stories transform you forever. Sarah smiled at life with gratitude. Every experience had value. Every person had a lesson. She understood the deepest truth about love. It is not possession, it is growth. It is not staying together, it is learning together. Her heart was open, yet protected. Ready for joy, ready for lessons, ready for life. She was whole on her own. Sarah finally realized that the most powerful love is the one that strengthens your own soul. Not every love story ends together, but every story leaves you unstoppable. Every heartbreak left a mark, but each mark made her stronger. She learned that pain is a teacher, not a punishment. Every ending carried a lesson that no beginning could give. She realized love is not about holding someone forever. It is about understanding, growing, and releasing when needed. True strength comes from knowing when to let go. Some people enter your life to say, so meted some to leave. Accepting this truth brings peace that no love alone can provide. Lessons matter more than permanence. Sarah forgave, not for others, but for herself. Forgiveness healed her heart and cleared space for joy. Holding grudges only prolongs suffering. Her heart became wiser, her soul calmer, her life fuller. She could love without fear, care without clinging, and live without dependence. Strength is born in freedom. In the end, Sarah understood a simple truth. Not every love story ends together, but every story leaves a part of itself inside you, shaping you, preparing you, and making you unstoppable. Every heartbreak taught a lesson, and every tear built strength. She realized that pain is temporary, but wisdom lasts forever. Life's endings are not failures, they are guides to growth. Love is not always about staying together. Sometimes it is about learning and letting go. True courage is in releasing what you cannot control. Happiness is found in acceptance, not possession. Forgiveness became her power, not for others but for herself. Holding on to anger only chained her spirit. Peace arrived the moment she chose to release the past. Her heart grew wiser, her soul stronger, and her life brighter.